Welcome to Taste of Mercy. Today we're doing some recipes with canned beans. So the idea behind the canned beans is something that's a little quicker and easier to put together when you're short on time. Same nutritional benefit, right, Nancy?
Right.
But just a little less hassle in the kitchen. We did three great recipes: a black bean and corn salad, or a black and gold salad,
gold.
right?
Okay.
And in the center we have some sautéed polenta with some butter beans. And over here we have a soup, which is cannellini beans and broccoli with some cheddar cheese.
They all look delicious, and we're going to be excited about baking them. I'm Nancy Carlisle, registered dietitian.
And I'm Chef Ron, so welcome to Taste of Mercy. Nancy, the first recipe is going to be a black bean and corn salad. We also call it a black and gold salad.
Gold salad. Sounds appropriate in Iowa City.
It's a good Hawkeyes type salad to take out to your tailgating. Okay. So we're using the canned black beans, and I've taken the black beans and rinse them real well.
Okay.
We'll get that extra salt off there and some of the residual from when they process the beans. And all these recipes we're doing, the canned beans are essentially interchangeable with the fresh beans. Okay, if you're making the fresh beans. But we're looking at giving the people some recipes that maybe are a little quicker if they come home and they want to be able to put something together and still have a nice recipe.
Something low fat and
something
healthy.
Nutritious and still at the same time something quick and something nice. And we don't want to have them so that it's something too elaborate and takes 3 hours
in the
because
kitchen
you're not going to do it,
right?
right? So we're going to start out. We're just going to take the black beans and add those.
So great source of fiber that we're adding here. About a half a cup of beans is usually about 5 grams of fiber.
This is 2 cups here. The next thing we have is corn, and this is a canned corn, but you can use a frozen corn as well. And then again, we take and drain that off.
Okay, so both of those versions come in no salt also, but draining them and rinsing that reduces the sodium usually by about half. Ooh, came close on that figure there. I like it.
So I need 1/3 cup of red onion.
Okay. So we're adding some vegetables to more vegetables, just enhancing the color. A little sulfides and sulfur compounds, antioxidant properties to the fiber of the corn.
A little cilantro. We want about 1/4 cup.
Cilantro is a great versatile herb, isn't it?
It is. It kicks it up a notch.
It gives some of that heat and yet just a very pleasant aroma. I think it always helps to meld different salads together with the intensity of the flavors. And just the freshness always, quick green add to some. So you could do this in the middle of winter and have a very attractive salad with the freshness of the greens.
And I'm going to give it a little bit of lime juice, 3 tablespoons of lime juice. We're going to make a little bit of dressing here to put on it. You can pour it on this way, or you can make it separately in a bowl. I think it's just as easy to
mix them together. Okay. Well, then that's my kind of mixing. 1 dish cleanup.
3 tablespoons. A little olive oil. We need a teaspoon of that.
Okay. And you're using the extra virgin olive oil.
This is one where you're not heating it anymore. This is where you're going to get that taste profile right at the very end. So it's just worth spending a little extra for it.
And monounsaturated fats, one of our best choices, gives us a source of omega-3 fatty acids.
A little salt. Again, this is one that you could go without the salt if you want, depending on how big of an issue that is for you.
Okay.
And I have some ground cumin. And we just need about 1/4 teaspoon of the ground cumin. And
We're learning about the antioxidant properties of cumin and other spices to make sure we add some of those to our dishes all the time.
Then an equal amount of chili powder, okay?
Ooh, you are kicking it up there.
And this one here, I'm going to add some grape tomatoes to give a little bit of
Color?
color there.
Okay, well then you're taking away my black and gold.
Kind of an accent there.
Okay, and this is an addition on. It was not in the original recipe there. That's what
First
I
time
love
I've ever
about
done
you,
that.
Chef. No, always adding fun things in. But I think that's the thing about salads, that you can start out with the base ingredient, and then if you got something extra in your house, you want to use up a little, you can just keep on adding.
Well, again, you wouldn't have to in here either, but you know, it's. I had this available from one of our other recipes, and we've tried this at the hospital, and it's.
It goes up
Looks
in
great.
raw.
And then the secret ingredient here, we're going to add just a little bit of maple syrup.
Okay.
It's kind of unique because it's just a little sweetness.
I think, with
Kind of a
corn
mystery taste.
recipes in particular, that helps to enhance the sweetness of the natural sweet corn after it's been canned. You lose some of that intensity.
So that's all there's in there. We just need to stir that up.
Well, I think I could come home really quickly after work and mix that up and go to that tailgate party.
If you had to stop and cook the beans and do that ahead of time,
Well, you can cook those ahead of time.
you can make those the day before. And, like I said, they're all interchangeable, but we're just trying to show you some real quick things you can do. And
The low-fat salad.
we're staying with that, the non-meat items.
So we're adding quite a bit of protein, a good source of fiber. We kicked it up with those tomatoes added to it. If you wanted, you could add some chunks of chicken alongside of it. But great vegetarian
Black and
dish.
gold or black bean and corn salad.
Great.
Quick and easy to do, and then we'll get on to the next recipe. Nancy, broccoli, cannellini bean, and cheddar soup.
Can you say that all together?
Broccoli, cannellini bean, and cheddar soup.
Okay.
Cannellini beans, they're kind of a
They're
white
white
color.
beans,
They're
they're like a white
essentially they're a
kidney
kidney
beans.
bean, right?
Okay.
They're done a lot in Italian. You'll see in minestrone. That's
Minestrone
probably
soup is the best
the
one.
one that they're really known for.
Okay.
We took and rinsed and drained these off. These are the canned beans also. I have 6 cups of broccoli here. I need to finish chopping this up.
Right.
We're going to make this soup. On the stove I have a cup of water and a can of chicken broth. You can use chicken or vegetable broth to go along with that. And let's finish this off. And
We're using the low sodium or the low
it
fat.
is a reduced sodium,
Okay.
yes.
And it's the fat-free chicken broth,
Yes.
which you could make also from the packets that you could use for the lower sodium version even. I like using the cannellini beans because they have a nice mild taste to it. But we're going to puree all of this, so it's going to be just kind of like a cream soup.
It's going to be a cream soup, and you're going
So-
to get the body from this and the beans both in there, so you don't need a lot of cheese.
Right, it's going to be a
We're only
beautiful
1 cup
color.
of cheese.
This would be one way of getting the kids to eat their vegetables, and they never knew they were eating broccoli if they didn't know the color of it.
Okay, Nancy, we're going to take the beans and the broccoli over, and
Okay.
we'll go ahead and add those. The broccoli, the only reason I have it chopped fine is they'll cook a little faster.
Right.
We could use the large florets as well. but-
Okay. Vitamin A with our broccoli, fiber in both of them.
I'm going to cover that up, and we're going to take probably 7-8 minutes, something like that, until it gets nice and tender. And we're going to take it over, puree it, add the rest of the items to the recipe.
Okay. Quick
Okay.
and easy. I could make this for supper.
Yeah, this one's pretty quick too.
Okay.
Nancy, let's check and see how we're doing.
Okay.
here.
Always release steam away
Away
from
from
you,
you.
never towards you.
Looks great. We got a nice green, dark
Colors.
color. I'm going to take them
They're tender. Oh, that's hot right out of there.
top. Nice and tender. They're very good.
Okay.
Way
and
to
it's-
go.
The beans and broccoli absorbed a lot of the juice.
Okay, so I'm going to puree this, and almost all the liquid is gone out of here.
Now, when you're pureeing something hot, again, you'd want to be careful with the steam so that you
Absolutely.
steam burns or some of the worst burns that you can possibly get. So always open the container away from you, and it will build up some pressure in that container too as you're pureeing it. So the caution of carefully releasing the lid,
I want to get
the broth in
a
there.
every little bit of liquid here.
You could
Okay.
take and add some more to it too if you needed to.
And we may have to. This is fairly thick. We'll give it a try. A little broth. Add to that.
We could have reserved some of the juice from the beans, but that would have made it more salty because we use the canned ones. So I like using either water or...
Right now, I'm going to put a little bit of cheese in here.
Okay.
And keep a little bit back for on top. Just
The spices
a
to
little
it.
bit of white pepper.
Okay. White pepper adds some heat to something that's usually pretty mild.
And a little bit of salt. Okay.
Have you seen the smoked peppers that they have out now?
Yes, very good. Let that cheese get melted in there a little bit.
This looks like a really hearty
It's
soup.
very thick.
Dipping in like crostinis along with it, or some seasoned breadcrumbs on top.
Very hearty, and you've got just a little bit of broth, the fresh broccoli,
Okay.
and the cannellini beans. Nancy, last recipe is a sautéed polenta and butter beans. So I have here some
So
pre-cooked
polenta,
sautéed or some cooked polenta.
a lot of people don't know what that is.
Okay, polenta is you're taking cornmeal. You can either use the yellow or the white.
Okay.
And you're cooking it with some either water or a broth, and you can serve it hot as like in a mush or a gruel, porridge. Or you can let it set up, put it in the refrigerator, and it'll
And it
become hard like
thickens?
this, and it'll thicken up, and you can cut it into cubes or squares or however you want to, and then
I see
pan
most
fry
often
it. A lot of
circles.
people will take and pan fry it when it's that way as well.
Fried mush.
Right. So it's and it's for each region, Italian or French, the ingredients going in there are going to be a little different, so it's kind of unique to their culture. But,
We're going to add some vegetables to it.
we're going to do the butter beans. We're going to use fresh spinach. It's going to be kind of like a salad. This is kind of a Spanish type recipe. Okay.
And it's a meatless dish again, something that we could quickly serve as a vegetarian meal. I think the water kind of separated
Yeah.
out there a little.
Be careful. Be warned. Okay.
So this could be for persons who are following a vegan diet, but it could also be somebody who is on a gluten-free diet, because cornmeal is one of the grains that is acceptable for them to use with no gluten in it or protein that they cannot digest very well with celiac disease. We're going to
Small-
slice it.
Small dice.
Okay. We could serve it as the rounds also if
You
you
could.
wanted to.
Yes.
Just as a center of the plate.
I'm going to put this in the plate here,
How about we
Nancy.
reach it closer?
You can take and
Take it over
we'll
and
take it over to this skillet going. Non-stick skillet, a good size one because we're going to add some other ingredients here. And a couple teaspoons of olive oil in there.
okay, monounsaturated fat. I'm just going to stir it
Just
into
go ahead
there.
and add it in there and stir it a few minutes. It's going to take probably 7-8 minutes. Get a kind of a nice light brown look. And in the meantime, I'll get the rest of the items cut up and ready to go.
Okay,
So we're going to take a red pepper and dice it. We'll just bring the stuff over on the board, I think. I have an onion. We'll do some thin slices. The other thing I have on here is the butter beans, which I've taken and rinsed off. There's 1 can. And we're going to take a little garlic over with us. So we'll take all these items over, a little bit of paprika. And the spinach. The spinach we'll add at the very end. I got 4 cups of spinach. So our next trip is over to the stove. There's a couple of minutes there and we'll be ready to go. You could also do this in the oven, take and put a little oil on it and put it in the oven. I'm going to take and put it off to the side here. I'm going to put that skillet back on.
I'm going to add some more olive oil.
A couple teaspoons of olive oil.
Okay. Now olive oil smokes at a fairly low
Put it off
temperature
here. We're going to put a little bit of garlic in here.
to release those aroma again.
Skillet's nice and hot, so let's let it take a minute. I'm going to add these onions. We'll put it back on the burner here in a second, as soon as we get a little.
Could take out some of the water
Take a little
out of the
heat out of there.
onions and melt them down.
Peppers. I think we can scoot back over here now.
Okay.
Let this soften up a little bit.
Nice color combination there.
Once that heats up a little bit, we're going to add some vegetable broth to that, with low sodium vegetable broth, and some fresh spinach and our butter beans.
And you can buy that low sodium broth in packets, and you can buy it
Packet, you
in
can buy it in the can both, yeah. I'm putting a little bit of paprika on here. Going to get a little color. It's going to help brown it a little bit.
That's the sweet paprika, but you can use the smoked paprika.
Yes, and Spanish there, paprika is one of their mainstays there as well.
Well, I'm excited to try this dish, Ron.
I'm going to add a little bit of the broth.
So the crispiness of the polenta and the softness of the vegetables should be a good combination.
It's a good combination, yeah. And we're going to have fresh baby spinach. We're just going to wilt that up there a little bit.
Okay.
And we're going to put some cheese on there, some Monterey Jack.
Okay. So if I had wanted to still be a dairy-free dish, I wouldn't have had to add the cheese to it.
Correct.
So it depends on which vegan type of a diet you might be following.
Nancy, it looks like it's softening up here now. We're going to go ahead and add the
Butter beans.
beans.
Okay. Not much of a contrast in color there.
Yeah,
I'm glad you
here,
have the
we'll
red
get a
pepper.
little contrast
the
here.
spinach.
With the
Okay.
fresh spinach in there.
So we've got about 3 cups there. It'll just smush down to nothing real quickly, won't
Right,
it?
that'll.
A great way of tenderizing spinach, wilting it.
Yeah, we just want
In
this
a
on
hot
for a few
dish.
minutes. We just.
Releasing some of the phytochemicals there. Again, that olive oil will help to take up and enhance the uptake of the vitamins and minerals, as well as steaming it lightly will help with that.
And if you would just take and grab that hot pad, we'll take that over as well, so we can have this
Okay.
place to set that down. All right,
Look at
so I
those
want to
combinations.
add the shredded Monterey Jack.
Okay, I'm going to melt that in there.
That'll about a couple teaspoons of sherry vinegar.
All right, and just to enhance the flavor of the vitamin of the spinach, and
Mix it in. That cheese will
that
slowly
aroma
melt.
is wonderful. Just like going again to the farmer's market and getting all kinds of vegetables and bringing them home and making a wonderful vegetable dish.
All the spinach wilted down. It's just. And then
I like the butterbean shape in there. It just adds a nice color combination.
Sauteed polenta with butter beans.
Okay.
Looks great. It's really quick to put together. Doesn't take long at all, especially if you have the pre-cooked polenta and the canned beans.
Great. I like this idea.